Look at this, look at this, look at this. Look at this. There's two newts, and they're right in the middle of mating. They're literally right in the middle of mating. And they're literally being drifted down by this stream. A little hard to see, but there they go. Sorry, camera angle's not the best, but I've never seen this before. I have never seen two newts literally right in the middle of mating. This is the first I've ever seen this. This is utterly, utterly amazing. I don't want to disturb them in any way. There we go. Look at that. Look at the way that I think the male is the one on top that's clutching onto her, and the female is the one on the bottom. We're right smack dab in the middle of the mating season for California newts, and these guys are doing it right in front of me. This is amazing. This is absolutely, absolutely amazing. Oh, like I said, it's really hard to follow them in this stream. Looks like they just separated. I don't know if it's because of me, or maybe they just stopped mating, or what. But that was truly amazing. I'm just gonna leave them where they are. I don't want to bother them any more than I have, and just leave them as is. Yes! Oh my God, that was amazing. Oh my God, that was amazing. I'll tell you guys what, this creek is absolutely alive with amphibians. I mean, there's two right here. There's one right there and one right there. You can see how different they look in terms of colorations, but they're both the same species. And then there's one big adult right over there. This place is just alive with newts. It's absolutely amazing. We're right in the middle of the, like I said, we're right in the middle of the mating season. These guys are just coming out of their little cracks, because spring is literally the mating season for these guys. Once summer comes and starts to dry up, they'll go into a hibernation sleep. You won't be seeing them for quite a long time unless they live in a permanent water source like this stream right here. Wow. Wow, I'm speechless. I'm utterly speechless. God, this is why I love searching for reptiles and amphibians. It's just so beautiful to look at. Absolutely beautiful. And sure enough, there's another one. This stream is crawling with newts. They're everywhere. They're absolutely everywhere. You know, Max actually told me that late March will be the best time to see these guys, because that's when the mating season for these guys really starts to peak. And that's why I'm seeing so many. They're ready to breed. They're ready to mate. They're ready to lay eggs. They're ready to have babies. And that's really, really important, because these guys are a protected species. Yet, ironically, they're protected only from Montgomery County south. Up north, they're a lot more common. They're much more common. And that's because they don't have as much of a habitat loss as we do down here due to urbanization. But it's still amazing to see so many of these guys here in Southern California. I love these guys so much. They're so beautiful. So beautiful. Well, I was just about to look in this crack here and see if there was anything in it. I put my hand right here, then I felt something move. I looked down, and it's another California tree frog. It just shows how good their camouflage is. I didn't even see him until I literally put my hands on him. Sorry about that, little guy. That's why it pays. This is also why it pays to be wary of where you put your hands and your feet, because you never know what you're going to be putting your hands on. And sure enough, there's more. There's 4 right here. There's one to the right, one to the left, and then there's 2 right in the center, and they're right in the middle of mating too. Look at that. They're just sitting perfectly still in that one spot, and they're right in the middle of mating. This is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. This is like the second time in just one day where I've seen 2 newts mating in the same place. This is absolutely incredible, absolutely incredible. Well, I'm gonna leave them to it. You see, these 2 are most likely waiting their turn. So I'm gonna leave them right where they are and move on. I've kind of lost count how many newts I have. I'm gonna have to look through my photos and see how many I've seen. My best guess, I probably have seen like 12. Maybe a little exaggeration, but who knows? I'll just have to check. But more newts, yay! I'm never getting tired of these guys. Still love them. Right by this rock edge, you can see there's a beautiful bright green Baja California tree frog. Now obviously its camouflage is not all that great because it's more adapted to green vegetation, and some of them can even be brown and green to match the surrounding environments. But they'll actually huddle up together along with the California tree frogs in the same spot. I've seen clusters of them all packed together, and I've seen as many as 10 in a single area, maybe more. There's another beautiful frog, very distinctive because of the black or brown band that goes from the nose through the eyes and to the back towards its front hind legs on both sides. Bright gold eyes. Again, a nocturnal species just like the California tree frog, feeding on insects, and also are a great prey source for two-striped garter snakes. Sure enough, I spotted another California newt. Now, one of the things I forgot to mention earlier, or that I forgot to add into the fact that this is a protected species, which means they are a protected species, which means that you cannot collect them and you cannot kill them. What I do is catch, photograph, and release. That is the most humane and ethical thing to do. This is just photograph, catch, photograph, and release right back into the wild where they belong, because they play such a vital role. They play such a vital role in our ecosystem. And it is, wow. And the stream just carried it off. It disappeared. But it's the right thing to do. I got my photographs, I got the video of the little beaut. It's time to move on. And I wish them, along with all the other animals that I have seen and will see from this point on, the absolute best of luck in life. Because living out in the wild is not very easy for any of the animals around here. None of them have it easy. And yet there's another California tree frog. And by gosh, when these guys hop, they can hop. I originally spotted him sitting right there. Right there. And he hopped from there to where he is now. They are so good at jumping, it's not even funny. Which is why catching them, even if you spot them out in the open, can be such a pain in the neck. Because they're such good jumpers. Compared to like catching toads that are low hoppers, these guys are really difficult to catch because they're just spring-loaded. All frogs are spring-loaded, or at least the two around here. The California tree frog and the Baja California tree frog are spring-loaded frogs. They can just be one hop from one spot to the next with ease at such great distance. But another California tree frog. No complaints for me. Another California tree frog. This one's actually in the water right next to some reeds. Probably trying to stay nice and moist. Like a lot of all amphibian species, they do need moisture, some more so than others. But definitely frogs need a lot of moisture, which is why you'll rarely see them away from any source of water. It's very rare. That's why it's much more common to see them around ponds, lakes, and streams. Very common. They're very adapted to aquatic life around here, or anywhere really. Beautiful frog. I think these three are the ones I've seen earlier today. I'm actually on the way back to the car. And they're right back at the middle of mating. Now there's just three of them. The one I showed earlier that was by itself, and the two that were already mating. Now I don't know if it's the same one mating with the female that's at the bottom, or if it's the different solo male, but they're still going at it. Honestly, couldn't tell you how long this process goes on or how many times a female will mate with the same male or a different male. But whatever the case, this is really good. This is a nice bonus for the ecosystem because then we're going to have more newts for future generations to come. So this is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I know I've said beautiful a lot, but nature has a way of showing its beauty in some of the most bizarre and even sometimes some of the most subtle ways you can imagine. I just found my third two-striped garter snake of the day. Another small one, a little guy, probably a newborn of this year. Looks like he ate something too. I can see a bulge in his stomach. Must have eaten one of the frogs or something. So I can see a bulge right in the center of his stomach right there. Another little guy. He's probably coming out of the crack out of one of these holes here. I actually saw him right over there by that tree branch right there. He was literally coming out of the leaf litter, or the leaf in there. But I've got the photos I got of this guy. And I will say this, they stink. When they're captured, they secrete a musk and it smells like fish. And oh my gosh, is it horrible. It is a horrible, horrible smell. Then again, being on a diet of amphibians and fish, probably good to have that secretion. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention is that when they bite, they have a saliva that causes the wound to continually bleed. In fact, I've been bitten by these guys before and it hurts, and it actually bleeds for a few minutes because of the saliva in their mouth causes that bleeding effect. But it's nothing to worry about. It stops bleeding pretty quickly. They actually use that, I'm guessing, to cause the prey item to bleed out and die a lot quicker since they're holding on to their prey and then swallow it down whole. So I'm gonna go ahead and release this guy and keep going. There you go. And he is gone. I don't even see him anymore. Yep, he is gone. I just got my fourth two-striped garter snake for the day. And this one is a little more snappy, a little more defensive than the others. Actually struck out at me a few times, actually flattening out the neck to do its triangular shaped head, even flattening out the body. Almost similar to, they like flatten out the whole body, which I didn't even notice before, just like a flying snake, although theirs is more of a defensive posture. And when they flatten out, they show off this brilliant green colored checkerboard pattern on the side, which is just absolutely stunning. I was just able to grab it after missing it because I hesitated, and then I managed to capture it after I managed to corner it. I think he's starting to settle down. Or she, I don't know. Females are generally larger than the males, but at this size, I can't really tell. I think this is a male, but I'm not really sure. But she's starting to settle down now. Oh. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Oh, you see that? Opening out the mouth. That's a threat display saying stay away from me or I'm gonna bite you. And they will. Like I said, they're not venomous. Their bite can hurt. You can bleed a little bit. But it's not too terrible. I still want to get, I still wouldn't want to get bit because it still is gonna hurt. But I can't really blame them because even though this snake is a predator in its own right, it's still a prey item for a lot of other animals in the area. Like possums will eat them, raccoons, larger frogs, large fish, birds of prey, coyotes, bobcats, anything that eats meat will easily make a meal of this guy. So him being defensive is really nothing new. When they feel cornered or threatened, they'll obviously run and try to hide in the nearest corner. And then when they're grabbed, they'll musk. They'll flatten out their bodies to make themselves look bigger and intimidating. And then last defense will be to bite. But I think she's starting to settle down, or not. Still opening up the mouth. Hasn't really bitten me, but Still wouldn't want to get bit. It still hurt. It would hurt. But I think she's starting to settle down a little bit. But I'm gonna go ahead and release this girl or boy and release it back into the wild where it belongs. Just leave it be. There you go. And it is gone. The stream just took it away and it just disappears just like that. This is I think this is the 6th one. I'm kind of lost count now. But this is the 6th two-striped garter snake I've seen. Almost about the same size as the last one. I think this one actually might be bigger than the last one. This is a female. This is definitely a female. And she's very beautiful, just like all the others. But there is one little problem. Right here on her left eye, it looked like it got pecked out by a bird at some point, which is why this one isn't acting as defensive as the last one was. I mean, it's really sad, but sometimes if they try to go after, sometimes birds will go after these guys and they'll peck their eyes out. Its right eye is good. Its right eye looks real good, but its left eye is in pretty bad shape. But considering she's still nice, big, and healthy, I think she's gonna be okay. Some snakes, even with an eye loss or whatever, they're born survivors. They've been around for millions of years, and I believe this girl will keep on surviving, just like all the others. And despite the eye loss there, so I think she'll be fine. So I'm gonna go release her right back where I found her, which was basically in the same water as the last one. Right there. There it goes. Yet another two-striped garter snake. At this point, I'm starting to think, yeah, I think there's this is number 7. This is definitely the most I've ever seen. The most I've ever seen in one go was 4. Now I just broke that record in no time flat. So I'm thinking, actually, I don't know if it's 6 or 7, but either way, I still broke the record. I'm gonna have to look through my photos and recount them. But yeah, two-striped garter snake number 6 or 7. Awesome. This is a nice big female. Nice big female. I can definitely tell because they're a lot bigger than the males, and she's definitely girthy. And for good reason. It's so they can give birth to a lot of babies. So I'm going to put her back where I found her and go on. She's very cooperative. She's had about enough of me. Here she goes. She's probably going to cross over and head straight into the cave right there where the brush is. Yeah, another two-striped garter snake, a nice big female. And my last herp of the day is this nice big beefy California tree frog. This one actually caught me by surprise. I was looking down into this rock right here. I look up and boom, there he was. Again, it just shows how really good at camouflage they are. They are really, really good. Why you always got to be wary of your surroundings as well.